Hi everybody and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. As indoor golf becomes more and more popular, that means that sim time can be harder to get a hold of and can sometimes feel rushed. The difference between playing outside and inside is that you're paying per hour. You don't just get to play your round and it takes as long as it takes, or you go to that driving range and you get to your one bucket of balls, your spot, and you're gonna be in that spot until that bucket is gone and you decide to leave. So today what I want to do is simply just talk about settings. Now, the settings I'm going to go over are just here to help you move things along. Whether you're playing solo or in a group, I want you to get the most golf out of that sim time you're playing and not sit around wasting it while you try and figure things out or go through a few paces that could have been avoided. So let's talk about it here right now. All right, so what do I mean by speeding up your round? Because my whole goal with going for it is to reduce that barrier of entry into golf and take a lot of that stress and anxiety of the pressure of golf away, right? So why are we trying to speed things up? Well, the reality of indoor golf is we are renting sim time if we're at a sim house probably by the hour, and some sim houses can be extremely expensive. So I want to make sure that you get everything for your money. I want you to play more golf and click a mouse a lot less than you absolutely need to. And the only pressure that we may feel is because at the end of our time slot, there's going to be another group that wants to come in and play. So we've already talked about how you can show up to the sim ready to go, being warmed up by showing up early and just getting things going. And you know what you're going to do, right? Today we've decided we've got yourself and a buddy, and you're going to want to play around on your favorite course. So what can we do to move things along a little bit? Now, one quick bit of clarification, I want to talk about the types of technology. Now, I'm utilizing my About Golf simulator. So if you go to their website, aboutgolf.com, scroll to the bottom, go to that sim locator, and find a simulator near you, what you're going to see me do on settings is going to be an exact replica of what you're going to see. Now, if you go to a sim house that utilizes other technology, understand what type of technology they are using. There are two types, and the biggest reason I want to talk about this is because it affects the way the gameplay and accuracy is on your putting and sometimes your short game. Now, if you are in the sim and your screen's here and you're setting up here and the technology is over here, it's more than likely going to be a radar-based system. They just don't do very well with putting. So utilizing auto gimmies to skip that function is probably going to be your most efficient way because you're not really getting any practice other than hitting a putter onto the ball and that's it. If the technology is down here on the floor in front of you like a GC quad type setup, it's pretty similar. It makes it kind of tough. That's why if you look at a lot of videos online of people playing with that type of technology, you see that circle around the pin. That is just so they don't have to put the pin in the cup. It could just be because they don't like the way it feels for performance, or because they just want to save some time and not have to put the ball into the cup. Now, if you have an overhead technology, especially a high-speed camera technology, what you're going to be able to get is a world-class short game and putting experience. So with About Golf, because it is an overhead unit, the putting is phenomenal. Now, what that can do though, is if you don't have practice indoors a lot like I do, you don't necessarily know what a 17-foot putt feels like. You definitely know what it would feel like if you could see it via your depth perception, but what it does is it makes it so that you're doing a lot of putting back and forth over the ball. Not only does it kill your score, but it just takes a lot of time. So today we're going to talk about what settings we can use regardless of the technology that you're using, just to kind of take the putting out of it a little bit so that we can move the game along and have a really good time playing golf. So I'm here, I'm going to go over to the rounds, I'm going to select a course, I'm going to jump into the settings, and I'm going to take you through that process so you know how to get there, and then we're going to choose those settings together. So I'm going to go ahead and click rounds, and I want to play the Marco Simone course here from the Ryder Cup in 2023. I absolutely love this course. So down here, we're going to click on setup. So to skip the standard stuff that you're used to seeing as far as setting up a round goes, we're going to go straight over here to next, and we're going to look here at the scoring. So this is where it becomes really important for you to understand these settings. Now, if you just watch this video and take note, you're gonna be able to roll in based on how you wanna play, make these changes pretty quickly, and you should be on course within the first 5 minutes of your starting sim time. Now, the biggest thing you wanna be able to do is decide, hey, how am I gonna play this round? Am I gonna play each other's stroke play? Or do we wanna move this along even quicker if you have a bigger group than, you got a group of 4 people, and we wanna go ahead and just do a scramble. It's gonna speed things up a heck of a lot quicker. You pick the best ball out of your group and you move on. So, and then we're gonna roll over into handicaps. Now, if you're a brand new golfer, instead of sitting there and hitting the ball into the bushes nonstop, use a little bit of an electronic virtual handicap. It's gonna give you a little bit more distance and accuracy help to help that game move along. And not only are you gonna have a heck of a lot more fun, but so are the rest of the people that are with you. Now, if you're there to work on your game and you want a true to life simulator experience, go ahead and leave that off. So let's roll into these gimme options, because this is where it's really gonna become important to move things along as long as you understand what it is. Now, we talked about those gimme circles. The one-shot gimme circle can be right here, and you can do it anywhere from 3 to 12 feet. It's user choice. And then we're gonna roll down to your auto continue. Now, this is just how much time it gives you in between. If you wanna look at your club data in between, I recommend giving it a little bit more. If you wanna move things along because you're there to shoot, you're not there to look at your data, go ahead and just turn that off, or instant, I'm sorry, don't turn it off because then you have to manually continue it. Make it instant. Now, an auto gimme, this is really important because what an auto gimme does for you is it's gonna give you options as you reach that green. So a 3-stroke auto gimme makes it so that anything over 60 feet on the green is gonna be a 3-stroke gimme added to your score and you're done. Anything within 60 feet that goes up to whatever you pick for your 1-stroke gimme is a 2-stroke gimme. So if we would leave it at 3 feet, anything from 3 feet to 60 feet is gonna be a 2-stroke gimme, and anything 3 feet in is gonna be your 1. Now that's gonna make it so that you don't have to putt it into the cup, and it's gonna speed up the game quite a bit. Definitely leave mulligans on. Look, we're inside, we're having a good time. There's no reason why if we have an accidental bad shot, or if the technology has a misread, we're able to take it mulligan without affecting your score. Keep your auto drops on, and then we're gonna move over to your auto concede. Your auto concede is so important for a reason, the exact same reason that you need to do this outside, okay? This is why we learn. We learn inside so that we can take it outdoors onto your green grass golf. When you approach a green grass golf round, you should have an auto concede in your head and discuss that with your playing partner so they understand what you're doing, okay? All that means is that's the max, the largest score that you're gonna be able to get. So I would recommend a triple bogey. Double bogeys are gonna happen probably quite a bit out on the real course. Triple bogey is saying, hey, as soon as you hit enough shots that has you at a triple, so that's 7 shots on a par 4, after your 7th shot, you're done. And you're picking that ball up and you're moving to the next hole. Now that's gonna speed things up if you're a beginner, whether you're indoors or outdoors. So utilize that concept in here so that when you go outside, it's familiar to you. And if you so choose, you can just flat out turn the putting completely off. And then the last thing we're gonna talk about is up here next to your members, you can simply click on the tee to change which tees that you wanna play off of. Today, I decide I wanna play off the red. Now, why do I decide that I wanna play off the red today? Well, I am not really swinging well. I'm still new to the game. I don't feel like I've scored well enough to play from the back tees. I've got no concern in my brain. I don't care if anybody wants to give me flack for it. I'm gonna play where I feel the most comfortable. So now that we've gone over these settings, you're gonna be able to play this round of golf far more efficiently without having to just putt the ball all over the place. Now, if you are lucky enough to have a simulator like this in your private residence or access to somebody who does, you don't have to worry about that as much. I would highly recommend leaving the putting on to where you have to get the ball into the cup every single time, especially if you're utilizing an overhead high-speed camera unit. Please like, follow, and subscribe. I'm gonna continue talking about tips, how you can reduce the barrier of entry into the game of golf, make it far more accessible, and have fun utilizing indoor technology. Until then, find a sim house near you, The season's almost here. Start warming your game up, or start to learn the game if it's something you've always wanted to do, because when springtime comes, you're gonna be out there walking 18 and having a great time.